Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, Robbo, which show, right, on TV would their presenters rock up with a glass of J-Ray Nephew with some ice?
Well, let me, how much points do I get for answering that question? Because you know it's all about being competitive, point scoring today. I think,
None.
No, junk, Ray and Nephew's mastermind. Ernie says, give me 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. So I said, Ernie and his bladder again. Man, come back. I said, no, man, I need my water juice. What's that? The Ray and Nephews.
J-Ray and Nephew lime and ice. We ain't playing up in here, Rude.
You ain't playing. You ain't playing. I ain't playing either. This is like let me see.
That's orange juice, Robbo, man. Come on. Start the thing. It's orange juice. You're riding your bike regular. It's orange juice.
It was a good year, 2012. It was a good year. Good evening, everyone. It's the fixture list. Daddy Ernie and myself, Robbo Ranks, joining you. And people, please, I'm not doing green screen. It's not a green screen. Hey,
rude boy. You want to draw some card on me now, because I'll suss you now. You know what happened? Robbo, before we go any further, right? I like the background, but remember the King Power Stadium is blue.
Yeah, well. Listen, I the difference between me and you, I'm not football biased, you know what I mean? I'm not football biased. But it's not green screen, Ernie, but you cussed me last week. You said that I'm not wearing a Liverpool top. You said, you come here, you're wearing your Jumpman PSG.
And cold last week, Rubo. You said you was cold.
I was cold. And because I was cold and we've had problems with the heating, we've had to move to the attic. So I'm up in the attic. I put down my Mbappe special. I'm a Draffy. The Black Armani.
So it was an AXA.
Well, that's the training kit sponsor.
AXA insurance company. Let me hold on, Robbo.
Our goalkeeper needs some AXA insurance the way he's going on.
Yo. I'm flown in especially from OT, rude boy.
Watch the man there, the man gone, Daddy E. Ernie.
Yo.
You're mean, you know. You're mean, you know. Sick. You're mean, you got 7 letters. Why don't you just finish it off? It would only cost you an extra £4.
No, it's all right.
Cheap, man.
Daddy E, they don't need to see no more than that. Daddy E.
Who's Daddy E? We know Daddy Ernie, a.k.a. Bernie. We don't know no Daddy E.
Well, they have to get used to it, Daddy E. And all I'm saying, that's my thing for tonight, you know. The King Power Stadium is blue. Robbo, explain to me the mad 15 minutes. Your goalkeeper was colliding with your new centre-half. How do you explain that, bro?
Well, it's all about confidence, and obviously, obviously, my goalkeeper's not insured by AXA, man. That was rank stupidity. But you know what? The best goalkeepers make mistakes, bro. You know how many times I watch?
He's running. He's made mistakes.
Yeah, well, you can make mistakes as long as these moments don't last forever, and I don't think they're going to last forever. I think it's come and it's gone, and as you saw in the Champions League, man had to lie down. Really
and truly, Robert. Really and truly, Liverpool's Premiership title's gone now, innit? Like I told you in the beginning of the season, I said that you will not be defending your the Premiership, and you was adamant that you was. But now, I want to hear you say that it's all over.
You know what they say? It ain't over until the fat gal sing.
The fat gal sing last week in Leicester. She was on some serious singing room.
The fat gal don't bust a note yet, you know. He don't bust a note. No, well, listen, man. I mean, the reality is, I reckon the season done. And I did say to you, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I know Rodney's my witness. I said, if the Man City game and the Leicester game goes down, then it's over, because Liverpool, let's call it, if they won those 2 games, they would have been 6 points up closer to Man City, but that's not going to happen. The only thing I might be looking for, I'm just hoping for a Pep pop down. A Pep pop down. And of course, today, Ernie, if Pep pops down, there's a few chasers in the pack. One being Man United, Leicester City, and possibly
Chelsea.
on
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea and Liverpool going to be chasing them. And obviously today, our very special guest from the hit TV show. Well, you're a good brethren.
Yeah,
Sean
man.
Wallace, the Dark Destroyer, a.k.a. the Chelsea fan.
I'm telling you, heavy Chelsea fan as well. Not
Crazy.
I'm talking top. I have to give respect where respect is due. I'm talking top Chelsea supporter. So we will be speaking to him a little bit later on. And of course, we got Rampage, Mike Anthony from Rampage, who coached the West Ham ladies football team. And we need to know from, maybe Mike can tell us about the West Ham way.
Yeah,
because we're Googling it and we can't find it.
we search everywhere, we can't find this West Ham way. I use Waze. I thought maybe Waze will know the West Ham way. Yeah, Mike Anthony, everybody knows or should be familiar with Mike. Since 1993, Rampage sound system, easily the biggest static. Although your mate Lewis will say something different. But
no, well, you know what? Not Mastermind was the original. Well, at first it was TWJ, the late from Night Moves, Trevor Russell and crew.
See, I knew Lewis was going to chime in. Lewis, this is the official title. The biggest static sound system at Carnival is Rampage since 1993. You can argue with him as much as you like, but he's coming on the show not to argue about Carnival. But obviously, yeah, as Ernie alluded to, he's coached West Ham ladies. He's gone on to do big things. He's coaching right now in the States. So he'll be joining us all the way from Florida.
Is it Florida?
He's in Florida. Okay. And he ain't lost his accent.
No, because I was expecting to hear him start to, because people go to America, right? And they've only been there 5 minutes and they start speaking American. You know what I mean? So I was expecting him to go, "What's up, dude, man? We see me."
No, not mine.
Same way.
Not nice. Same way.
You know what I mean? But last weekend was I called it, didn't I? I said Leicester 2-1. There was going to be a big reaction from Liverpool, and they were going to win 3-1. So I called that one. But I was very disgusted with my team. Absolutely. I'm not lying.
You didn't lose, though.
We never lost. But come on, man. The way my brother, like, he just flew in from somewhere in Africa there and just muscle up Lindelof. Like, Lindelof was like a little puppy, rude boy. Like a little puppy, just brush him aside and got the goal. And then after that, we just could not. I don't even know, man. I was absolutely livid. That's why I never went on Facebook after the game, because I think we did a whole heap of swearing.
Right? I noticed you only go on Facebook when you got things to say about Liverpool, when you got things to say about Arsenal, and you always drop this birthday cakes. What's this birthday cake emojis that you keep dropping? It's nothing to be happy about when we lose, son.
No. Listen, Robbo, I do go on there when Manchester United win, lose, or draw. But you see, last week...
No, you don't.
What are you talking about? You talk to my man Fidel and also Devon and all them man there, right? In the banter group. I'm in there. All your brethren, Jeff Schumann, right? Who has been very, very quiet lately. He's been very quiet.
Yeah, Jeffrey's holding his composure, that's all. He's just holding his composure.
He ain't got no composure. What composure has he got? He ain't got no composure. And talking about putting up me and Chris Peckins and all them man there up on the page, right? So we're always there. But last week, after, tell you the truth, it just mushed up my whole Sunday evening, because I had it down as a banker that we was getting 3 points from that. And then the fool, Maguire, like diving all over the place and all that. Oh, man, you don't know. If I could get hold of him with a piece of string, it'd be all over.
So I take it you're not impressed with your two centre-halves?
Nah. But I tell you what, though, last night, my boy Bailey come in and make Maguire look good.
Well, I didn't watch any of the European games apart from Liverpool, and then I caught the PSG. So I'm still unaware of all the scores, but I'm sure our learned friend is going to be joining us also chief sports writer from The Voice newspaper, Rodney Hines, will give us a rundown of the European fixtures. And of course, we got to talk about this week fixtures. And we couldn't really call it. That's why there's no Liverpool. It just wouldn't be right with a Liverpool Everton logo. So we have the big game, Liverpool Everton, which is obviously the big derby, the biggest UK. No, say Celtic, but let's say the Premiership derby, Premier League.
I don't
derby.
think it's the biggest one.
I think it is. I think it is.
One, Robbo. It ain't the biggest one.
It's bigger than Tottenham Arsenal. Come on, talk the truth.
Yeah, but Man United Liverpool ain't a derby, but it could well be because it's a bigger game than Liverpool and Everton.
Well, but you can't really call Liverpool Man United a derby because they're not two teams that are in the same vicinity.
In the scheme of things.
In the scheme of things, listen, Liverpool Man United is a massive game, and now Liverpool Man City is a massive game. But if we're talking about derbies, gotta be Liverpool.
Leicester and Liverpool's quite a big game.
Yeah, Sheffield Man United is a big game too. Big game down on Old Trafford. Massive. It's a massive game. It's a massive game, Ernie.
But this you know what? I'm looking forward to this Everton Liverpool game. If Everton's going to be playing, what's his name in goal? What's their goalie name again?
Wasn't he injured there, goalkeeper, the Muppet that plays for the England goalkeeper?
Yeah. How he's England goalkeeper, I'll never ever know. I mean, if he's England's number one goalkeeper, then they're in a sorry state of affairs because I don't rate him at all.
To be honest with you, Pickford playing for England, he's never really let England down as a goalkeeper. So you gotta kind of like gotta give it to him. If he's done like mad ones playing for England, then you could say, all right, cool, this guy should be the England goalkeeper. But when you watch the other goalkeepers like Pope and Nick Pope, and who's the other one that's doing really well? Your guy, Henderson. When you watch these goalkeepers, they really go hard. I mean, technically, they just look like better goalkeepers. They just look like all-round better goalkeepers with proper technique and everything. But the thing with Pickford is he's made his name from being a great shot stopper. And England's got this guy in goal. And when man's rassing up England and he's stopping these shots from going in the back of the net, I can see why Southgate keeps him in goal. But not my idea of a good goalkeeper. And the brother's a bitch, man. For him to do that move on Virgil van Dijk. I know at the end of the day, goalkeepers do what you clear your lines, take players out. But knowing, just the... every time I look at that tackle, I just think
disgusting,
what an evil brother.
Disgusting, and that's why I think tomorrow. I got to big up Aaron White, who just said Manchester United and Man City is the biggest derby. Oh, you mean Aaron? My man.
Where's Aaron from? Aaron's not from around here.
He's a Man United supporter.
What are you talking about? The biggest derby?
Merseyside derby is going to be a draw. Yeah, I think so, Lewis. But I want to see. There's going to be fireworks in there because man's going to be carrying feelings for the Van Dijk incident. To be honest with you, I think the only player in that team that would probably carry hard feelings in that game on that pitch, even though you'd think if Milner was playing, but he's been ruled out. You'd think Henderson might, but he's got to be responsible in the position that he's playing for Liverpool. But I think the only person that's going to be carrying hard feelings in that game is Thiago. He's looking for Richarlison. He's looking for that brother. He's going to be looking for Richarlison anywhere he finds him on the pitch. Mark my word. And, Thiago is always susceptible for an early card. I reckon he'd be looking for Richarlison. He'd be looking for that brother like, yeah, I'm going to rake my stud down him right down the middle of his back. Yeah, but is Thiago that kind of player, though? Robbo? Them little, I was about to say them little Spanish man, but I don't want to sound like that. Them man, they can be nasty, bro. Thiago's Brazilian, isn't he? No, his father was Brazilian, but he was born in Brazil, but he was raised in Spain. So most of his football schooling was Spanish. Them Spanish man, they can't go on with that thing, So okay. So we should look out for that then. Pardon? We should look out for that. Well, I think the only person who's going to be looking out for that will be the referee. So, Thiago, please hold it. Just hold your composure. Okay,
Big game.
our regular contributor, Patrick Tappin, who really cares about the stupid Merseyside derby? I mean, what's his name? Gareth Bale scored last night, and all of a sudden, Spurs reckons they're going to win the Premiership. I'm mad.
Spurs,
Shame,
you know what?
Patrick Tappin.
We talked about the Gareth Bale. Was it last week?
Yeah.
You guys have just been mugged off. I mean, do you know what? Over the years, I mean, I've got really no bones against Spurs, but they're such a mugged off football team, aren't they?
I have.
They just do. No, I haven't got nothing against them like that.
But I mean, Rodney Hines is here. We can bring in Rodney, and Rodney will back me on this. I mean,
well, Rodney's a so-called Arsenal fan, so what do you expect?
Yeah, he is. But the only claim to fame that Spurs has got is that they won the old First Division in 1961 when the telly was black and white with 2 knobs. That's the only claim they got.
Didn't they do the double or something like that in the 60s?
The double, yeah, that's all. You know what I mean? But apart from that, there's no other claim to fame.
No, but you know what? One thing with Tottenham, you know what? I must say, when I was a kid watching football without really any allegiance to any football team, I wasn't a kid. I was like into my football, but wasn't really that much bothered about if Liverpool won or lost. I used to admire that bro. And I used to see him in Harlesden High Street, pull up in the Mercedes into Barber Plaza. Garth Crooks, what a player! Yeah, he was a player, and he was such a gentleman as well. Because this dude used to just be like in and out of the community, and it was no problem for him. He never looked flustered in his full Tottenham kit. I remember he was playing with Glenn Hoddle at the time. Ozzy Ardiles. They had a bad team back then.
Yeah, I used to like them, man. Still, I've
got a soft spot that way for Tottenham, but
no, but they must not get it twisted because they think they're a big club. They got themselves the Sainsbury's Stadium now, and they think they're a big club. But it's all back to 1961 with the black and white TV and the 2 knobs. And until they get over that, they are nothing but the bridesmaid, like Cinderella. 12 o'clock, the old shoes. They've lost the shoes. It's all over. Can we bring in Rodney Hines here? I mean, it's a good time to bring in Rodney Hines. Here we go. Rodney Hines. As cool as ever. Hey,
Rodney, when we did a check, you was in white. Now you're coming full black, like Arsenal.
Arsenal play Man City on the weekend, so
that's why you're in full black, like
that's why I'm in black. You know what I
mean? It could be over before it's over.
What is it? Deaf? Is it deaf? You put the black shirt is all over, Rodney. Is it deaf? Is it? Is it deaf for Arsenal this weekend?
I love listening to you too while I'm waiting. It's fantastic.
Is it deaf this weekend, Rod? I mean,
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's not quite a free game for Arsenal. No one expects them to win. If they get hammered, they're just going to follow the likes of all the other teams that have taken the beating in recent times. Let's just see what happens.
Are you like the way you're sitting on the fence there, Rod? Like you're confident that something's gonna. Mind you, I did see, the brother there. What's the brother name? Robbo from over outside.
Who's that?
Who plays up front for Arsenal, man?
Saka.
I saw him last night. I tell you what, he looked a little bit tasty last night against the team there. He did.
What do you guys reckon? What do you guys reckon on the commentators? I mean, they were gushing. Absolutely gushing. Phil Foden is the greatest young footballer. La.
Please.
And there's a ripple of admiration for Saka. But what do you reckon, Rodney? Looking at both players, I mean, I think they're both great, fantastic talents. That's what they are as now. But the over the top gushing, like England should build their football, and they always refer back to England. It's like it always has to be about England. But they're talking about England building their teams around Foden and Grealish. What do you think about that?
That's why I turn the volume down. That's why I turn the volume down with a lot of this commentary, because it does go over the top, doesn't it? Listen, don't get it twisted. Foden is a very good player. I would never compare him to Saka because Foden has had maybe a couple of seasons more development than Saka. But Saka's going to be a fantastic player, whether that be Arsenal or somewhere else.
Somewhere else, please.
There's got to be somewhere else.
Got to be somewhere else. Because anywhere else is better than Arsenal right now for a young player.
Arsenal are a team in development right now. Come on, I said to you a few weeks ago, they're not in the argument right now based on the shirts that you guys are wearing. But
hold on, Rod, hold on.
Nice.
But we just want to know who's Daddy E. I don't know E. Who's
Yeah.
No Ernie, but we don't know E. Ernie, but we don't know E.
Saka's a really good young player. I expect him to do some great things. But Foden is a good player, and obviously he's getting the props because, one, City are doing what they're doing right now, and he is playing his part in that as well. If you remember, David Silva's left them now. De Bruyne has been injured. Gundogan has been injured as well. And Foden has stepped up, whether it be assists or goals. So, yeah, he's a good player, but come on. We must expect that the media will go over the top for their so-called hero. They always do it. That's why.
But it's easy also to look good in a team that's playing very well. The difference with Saka, when you watch Saka plays, the momentum that he brings to Arsenal's front line, like you see him do things on the pitch, and you're looking at all the other players they have in their locker, and you're thinking none of them bring what Saka brings to a pitch. I mean, sometimes it comes in spells of like 40 minutes. He's not quite a 90-minute player. But I see him do things. It reminds me so much of Raheem Sterling when he was at Liverpool. You'd find for 30 to 40 minutes, or even 25 minutes of a game, Sterling would rip teams apart for small parts of the game. When you watch his Saka, he does that like moments for Arsenal, and you're thinking they have no one that can do that. The difference with Foden, I say there's players that could possibly do the same job, or bring the attack for Man City, and they've got great attacking players anyway.
I mean, the way City are playing at the moment, they've missed De Bruyne. Gundogan's been injured. I think
he's just got injured. Gundogan's just got injured the other day.
What I'm saying, if Foden got injured, I don't think they'd miss him, because that's
exactly.
I think that's what Pep is building there now. That you can take somebody out. And by the way, come on, let's stop for a minute. I get your point, Robbo, and I know you love Saka because you've talked about him in the weeks previous as well. So, but I've got to say, this Manchester City defender João Cancelo, what a player! He's everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah, I've heard them talking about him during the week.
He's absolutely everywhere.
He's not bad.
I mean, the way that Pepper's got it set up, he's not a right back, he's not a left back. He's another body in midfield.
Yeah.
And he's got the ability to pass, to tackle, to run. I mean, I tell you what, listen, I know both of you guys are wearing the shirts that you're wearing, so talking about Man City in a positive light isn't the easiest thing to do. But we just got to pay homage to the football that they're playing right now. Come on. It's pass. They're passing teams to death, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing the Barcelona way, the good Barcelona team. But, I want to just verify. Huh?
Hold on. Didn't people say that Guardiola arrived in the UK, that he couldn't play the Barcelona way in the Premier League?
If he had an English team, if he had English players, he would not play the Barcelona way.
Well, he's not playing the Barcelona way. What you're saying with Cancelo, wasn't he the player that Pep got rid of Danilo to bring him?
Yeah, but hold on. When you say it's got the Barcelona way, what is the Barcelona way then, Ern?
It's a bit like the West Ham way. We're going to find out later on. Isn't it? West Ham way. Come on, Rodney. You're a journalist. You know what way? Barcelona way's over there. West Ham way.
It's over here.
It's over here. West Ham way.
We're just trying to work out.
Hey, listen. We got to cut this out. There's no more talk like that nonsense. Let's park it up. There's no more anybody's way. You just win games. Oh, weird. Win.
You know what I would like to see? I'm going to be controversial here. And this ain't a racist thing, but I would like to see.
Oh, let me put my filters on.
I'd like to see a black team with Sterling, my man at Arsenal, Aston Villa players, Manchester United players, a top black English team go up against Foden and his brethren team.
You got a challenge with Foden. I know that.
Why? Why do you want to see that, Ernie? Why do you want to see that? Yeah.
So that we could quieten the press. Quieten them man who's got Foden and Grealish and all them man there as some kingpin, because I know that we got 11 black man, right? who would just tear them to pieces.
You see, Ernie's like them, like when we used to be at school, when we used to play with the jumpers, like, all right, let's go. Skins versus beer. And we was like, no, black versus white.
White. You know,
Ernie was one of them.
I'd see that. I'd like to see that.
No. Me now take off my shirt.
I mean, if you, what would you say about that, Rod?
Well, as long as you've got Black Lives Matter on the shirts, why not? It's not going to be allowed. It's not going to be allowed to happen. But I see your point. Point. And the thing is, what? I was going to say, back in the day, that would have been a wonderful concept, and we would have struggled for a goalkeeper. But we got the boy at Chelsea now, isn't it? Mendy.
Yeah, Mendy. We got Mendy, and there's a few other ones as well in the lower leagues that ain't bad.
Cuss off his Ras Mendy, that guy.
But I tell you what, this is a little thing for next week, right? Your best 11 black players right now for next week.
Easy, Tricky Nicky.
We'll put our team together. What's Tricky really gets? What's this?
Sterling is one player who really gets rotated by Pep. Of course he doesn't. Foden is an excellent player and is better than Saka at this point in time, in my opinion. Okay.
No, Tricky Nicky. Come on, Tricky Nicky. Now, I respect you, Tricky Nicky, but when you're saying that, then you know what I mean. I got a question now.
Foden's laid down these things, but Saka, for what he's doing in a not a great Arsenal team, I think Saka goes in a top team. It'd be over.
Definitely, I see him doing some things that my man up at Man City can't do. I'm telling you, I see him bust up some man last night with some little trickery and all them business. And he's playing for Arsenal. I hate, but he looks special to me. He does look special.
Hey, mind the white rum ain't busting up your head right now, Ernie, because the man's gone for black and white football teams. Deary me.
Right now, I'd like to bring in our special guest. We got no sound effects, Robbo.
No, I told you I'm in the attic right now.
Oh, okay. I'd like to bring in our special guest, the first black man to win Mastermind. His chosen subject was football, Chelsea, and of course, he's now known on the chase as the Dark Destroyer, Mr. Sean Wallace. Hello, Shawnee boy.
How you doing, son?
Oh, look at that.
By the way, it's Dr. Sean Wallace. All right, okay? All right, son. All right.
He's got what's that? He got his
wall, man.
Oh, come on. Sean, what's that you got on your wall? Sean, what's up? You'd have 2 Chelsea flag up there, man.
We have Mourinho up there.
That's in my other room. Do you want to see it? Do you want me to show it to you?
Show it to us.
Yeah, go on then. Show us it. Go on. Show us it then. Oh, here we go.
Let's have a look at Sean.
Now, this is his
we see that mastermind money.
Yeah, you know that.
Yo, some of that chase money.
How long is it going to take you to get there?
It's the size of the house, Ernie. Don't you understand? Sean Wallace sits in a...
Oh, guess who's here?
And pain.
Evening, gents. Guess who the hell is Guess Who?
Guess Who's just a wind-up. He's a wind-up.
Easy
Guess Who. Big up.
Big up Guess Who. Where's he gone?
No. No, it's not the internet. You know the prized possessions. He can't let you see that side of the
okay.
That side of the wall is different. You know, we have that side of the wall. Ernie, you should know that side of the wall. You're a DJ. You've collected enough of them.
Well,
yeah.
He's gone to the back cave, apparently.
How do you turn the camera around?
All right. Yeah, where is it then? Where is it? Oh, my God, please.
God, please. God. Is that a proper road sign?
Yeah.
Look at the man. Put it up. We can't see what it says.
What's it say at the top there?
The bridge. Lord Stamford Bridge. Oh my God. Is that your school team there, Sean?
I supported Chelsea, Robbo, since 1967. I'm a proper fan, yeah. I've supported them during the highs and the lows, yeah. So I'm going back to the other room now. And by the way,
Sean, somebody asked me to ask you how many managers has Chelsea had in the last 10 years?
They reckon by 2025, the population will come into contact with at least one Chelsea manager within 50 years.
But seriously, Sean, I bought you something because I know you like to win. This is solid gold. How many managers has Chelsea had since their arrival in the Premiership? This is bigger than what that brother pays you on the chase. Come on, this is gold.
Okay, Robbo, we've never left the Premiership, son. Okay, all right, okay. If you're talking about since 1993,
that's the year I'm talking about. Yes,
well, I would say 22.
Anthony, can you confirm that? Because I always believe the chase. I believe he's got one of these in his ear. He's got an in-ear.
Please.
I believe on the chase. Yeah, that old trick called an in-ear, and they say, Sean, there's not 6 wonders of the world. There's 7. Seven, Sean. And he goes, this is Sean. Okay.
You know what? I'd expect that from a Liverpool fan who lives in London. You know, I'd expect that. Do you know what I mean?
The global game, son.
You know what I'm talking about? You know those
the global game.
Probably, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? Of course you do, son.
I know you do, bro. I know you do.
What?
Hey, Sean, you're wrong, by the way.
Okay.
Can I just say that again? Can we say that again for the cameras? Sean, you're wrong, by the way.
Okay.
What is your problem?
No problem.
Let me educate Sean Wallace.
Go on then.
33.
Right, Rodney, he's only reading it, isn't he?
No, I did my own work. It's 33.
Yes, 33. Okay, I'll accept that. No problem. I'll accept that.
He's still wearing them dodgy tops.
Nicky. Nick is supposed to be a mate of mine. Right? I'm not impressed with that, Nick. Right? I'm not impressed with that, mate.
Serious support of Guan Sean from Robert White. Sean,
yeah,
what was it like? I mean, Mastermind. Mastermind, the big black chair.
Yeah,
and this black man from North Wheezy arrives in the black chair. Mastermind.
Yeah.
What was it like?
For me, right? It wasn't daunting because remember, I'm a trained barrister. I've appeared in the Court of Appeal. I've done murder trials. So, to be honest, sitting in a black chair in front of a studio, and bright lights wasn't daunting at all. And I'm trained to actually react under pressure, to think on my feet. So, for me, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole experience. The most nerve-wracking part of it was in the semi-final when I had to go last to try and get into the final, I had to catch a total of 22, and I got 5 questions of my general knowledge wrong in a row, and I needed only 1, and I could see the time running out, but I just remained calm. And I remember that I'll never forget it. He goes, I started, so I finished. He read out the question. He goes, how old does a horse have to be in the? And I knew the answer straight away, and that was the most satisfying victory, I suppose. Obviously, apart from winning it, but it was really, really tough.
Sean, who was the host of Mastermind when you was victorious on that?
John Humphreys.
Humphreys.
I did it the year after they brought it back in 2003. And my life at that time was a bit up and down. And I remember I saw the guy who won it the year before, Andy Page. And I remember looking in the newspaper and I said to myself, God, I wish that could be me. And you know what they say about procrastination, it's a thief of time. So I said, right, I'm going to apply. And I was the first black person to apply for the show in its 36-year history.
Wow. Why do you think that was?
You know why? Because we as black people don't realise how clever we really are.
I do.
Ernie does. He got no
right. That's why I support Man United.
Ernie's bright.
Very clever.
Ernie couldn't even spell my name correctly. All right, so I don't know about that. All right.
Yeah, because he said to me, Ernie said, me have Chanel Wallace, you know. Chanel, I come true, you know. I said, who? Then he said, the guy on the TV, man. The guy on the TV. Chanel.
Listen, I've known Ernie. Ernie's known me since I was about 8 years old. Yeah. So he's known me a long time. But
I know Sean when he used to come to the shop with his mum. And he used to pull the trolley basket.
No.
Yes.
That's the one thing. No. Yes. No.
Yes.
That's the one thing I never ever did was to pull my mum's trolley basket because I refused to do
say that now.
Okay, no.
Come on,
If I
Sean.
could have a mobile phone,
No. I don't think so, bro. No.
Sean, it was a thing to pull your mum's trolley basket in Arsenal. I loved it.
You know, Robbo, I swear to God, that's the one thing I would never do, pull the mum's trolley basket.
Oh, I done it. You know why I done it? Do you remember Fudges in Harlesden?
Yeah.
I wanted a bike. And I knew that you could go into Fudges and pay your £1 a week or £2 a week. Yo, I was pulling that thing from Jubilee Clock to Craven Park.
That's the one thing.
Listen, I used to pull that from Jubilee Clock to Sudbury. Me.
Not pulling that.
And then my mum used to say, come in, Pully. I pull it, she used to come in.
Nah, not cool, bro. But going back to the point, why it is, I don't think black people realise how clever we really are. And sometimes we don't have this sort of confidence to actually express that. And I'd like to think that me winning Mastermind has shattered that myth that we're more than just sort of artists, we're more than just sort of musicians, we're more than just rappers. You know, we do have the same intellectual capacity as our white counterparts. And
you're proving that on the weekdays. Very entertaining show.
Yeah, but I don't know, Robbo, because I see some people taking some money off of him lately. Yeah. You know, I see somebody.
Listen. I just took gold from him, right? I've watched the chase in and out, and I've seen man clot up Sean on the chase. But for the best part, you live up to that name, the Dart Destroyer. What is it like being on that show? And I know there's a lot of people that actually look at you as like and they always say like, I want the big boy. I want the big boy. They all want you. Everybody seems to want you. They don't want to. I think they don't want to challenge. They don't want the challenge, but they just want to be in that competition with the Dart Destroyer.
I love that. And I'm the only chaser who'll go and see the contestants afterwards, whether they win or lose. Because at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, okay, it's a persona when I'm up there. I am dead serious. I'm not there to laugh. I'm not there to smile. But, you know, after the show's finished, I'll go and see the contestants. If they win, I'll congratulate them. If they lose, I'll commiserate. So
you keep a straight face when you're wrong. You go like, you do this face.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're going to get the next one right. But go on.
Yeah, but as I say, you know, if you get a question wrong, just like in the mastermind chair, you've got to have the confidence in your own ability that you're going to answer the next question correctly. So
does that mean that you kind of like, when you get it wrong, you're because I can't tell if you're flustered, but that face when you get it wrong, you're like, yeah. Well,
I'm never flustered. Even when I'm doing the final, if I don't catch the total, I don't catch the total. But the one thing I will always do, I'll go to the very second to see if I can win.
So I'm going to ask you. I know I was messing about the in-ear piece that you. The in-ear, and they got a chocolate colored in-ear, so that when they put it in your ear, and the makeup lady fixes it in, nobody knows that you've got an in-ear.
Is he a mate of yours?
No.
Rodney, is he a mate of yours?
Mate, I'm not responsible for this.
Is he a mate of yours?
I'm not responsible. Trust me, I'm not responsible.
Hey, listen, I'm asking the questions, not your mate.
Oh, I
want to ask you something. Let me just ask you something, just for my peace of mind.
Go on.
When those questions are all put up, I'm not saying they give you the questions before, but you're obviously your general knowledge, your general knowledge is amazing. Do some of the questions that are thrown at you, are some of the questions thrown at you, have you heard them before? Have they come around? They're all fresh.
No, they're all fresh. We don't get. Before I came on air, I was doing an hour's worth of revision. You know, because what I normally do, I take programs like Mastermind and University Challenge, and I test myself, see how many questions I get correct. I'm not interested in the questions I get correct because I know the answer. It's the questions I get wrong, which I'm going to remember.
Oh well.
Technique,
Rodgers,
man.
what you got to say to Sean? Because Rodgers is a sports journalist.
You see, Rodney helped put me on the map, mate. I'm telling you, when I won Mastermind in 2005, right, him and his newspaper, right, I tell you, I will forever love The Voice because they gave me the platform. Didn't you, Rodney?
Yeah, but I mean, listen, the credit is all yours. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, listening to you now, it's amazing because most people say, when you ask somebody now what they're doing during the day, they say, I'm going to watch The Chase. Do you know what I mean? It's that popular. And you've made it along with fellow chasers and the very good contestants as well.
Well, I'm the world's first chaser because I got appointed in 2008. Because what happened was that, Daddy Ernie has got my autobiography and it's been sitting down in his desk for the past 2 years.
I can't go and get it, actually.
To be honest, the reason why I think he hasn't read it is because there are words in that autobiography which are more than 5 letters long.
Sean, behave, Sean. I'll tell you more of your secrets, Sean. Behave.
Well, anyway, and just to tell you what happened, when I lost the Eggheads Grand Final in 2008, I then got a phone call in the autumn of 2008 from ITV asking me to come to an audition for an exciting new game show. So I went along and they asked me 30 questions and I got 28 out of 30 because I'd retired from quizzing by then because, I mean, I only quizzed to see how good I was, not for any prizes. If there's a prize at the end of it, then guess what? You win it. So they said to me, what am I doing? So I said, look, I've retired. I've gone back to practicing law now. So, done my bit in the quiz circle. I said, oh, by the way, I'm on Are You an Egghead? And they're showing it now. So they said to me, how did you do? I said, I'm not telling you. If you want to see how good I am, you watch that as an audition. So I think they contacted the BBC to find out where I got to in the competition. So when they broadcast the final on December the 2nd, 2008, the following day I was in front of an ITV commissioning panel. There's about 100 people there playing the game for the first time. Then I did the show. I did 3 more auditions over a 4-month period. And once they were satisfied, they then asked me to go up to Manchester with Mark Lebet on the 1st of June, 2009, which was the day before my 49th birthday. But on that day, I was supposed to be in a murder trial at the Old Bailey. So I said to my leader a week before, I said, look, I've got to do this, partner. I've just got to do it. So Sean, as long as you get cover, not a problem. So they paid me £100 per episode. I did 5 shows. I had to pay my stand-in $5,000. And you might think the economics of that is a bit mad, but sometimes in life you've got to speculate to accumulate. Because I knew it was a very good show, a very good concept. And 11 years later, it's taking me to Australia, it's taking me to New Zealand, it's taking me around the world. So,
well, I'll get this in because my mum passed away last year, May, and you was like one of her biggest comforts during the day. She used to sit. I used to go to the house, turn the key, and she'd be sitting there going, watching The Chase. She used to love watching you.
My old man passed away of 17th of January. He said, can I get Sean to come round his yard?
and you know what? I would have done so.
Yeah. I know you would have done.
You would have done.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing I know you now. I know she's watching over us, so big up mummy and watching you on The Chase. Enough respect.
I've got something here. Chicken George. Tell me, gentlemen, which black player who plays in the same position as Harry Kane is better? Maybe the one that for you, Rod?
Sorry?
Easy.
Chicken George up in Birmingham wants to know which black player who plays centre forward is better than Harry Kane.
Easy.
Better.
Okay.
Are you talking about in the Premiership or worldwide?
It depends. Firstly, you're talking about the Premiership, and secondly, are you talking about in relation to footballing skill or goal-scoring prowess? Because it makes a difference.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, he's just said, tell me, gentlemen, which black player who plays in the same position is better than Harry Kane?
Has he got an answer, though, Ern?
Has he got an answer?
He ain't giving me an answer, but Chicken George, you come up with an answer very soon.
Right. To be honest, right, I think Harry Kane is peerless when it comes to goal scoring. He's proved it time and time again.
Better than Aguero.
Aguero's a different type. Okay, Aguero's a natural goal scorer. Okay, Aguero's a natural goal scorer. If you were to ask me right now, which player would I prefer in my team? I suppose fully fit. I suppose I'd always go for Aguero just because he's done it over a longer period of time. You've got to respect what Harry Kane has done. And the reason why I love Harry Kane is because he is not a one-season footballer. When he scored those goals in 2014, 2015, he could have easily been like those footballers who had one stellar year.
Yeah.
And do it. He has done it consistently for the best part of 6 or 7 years. So
is he worth 150 mil? Is he worth 150 mil?
At today's prices, you know what? Guess what? Goal scorers are a premium.
He's at the age he is now.
He's at his prime. He's 27 now.
Yeah, but he's got twigs for ankles. His ankles are made out of
he has. Oh, you know what?
Halfway during the season, always the same time of the season. What do you reckon, Rod? Is he worth 150 mil?
I mean, listen, as Sean said, based on market forces, yeah. But I mean, listen, there's talk at the moment that Man City are looking for a striker. They said Aguero is almost done in terms of age and injury. What damage could Harry Kane do in a Man City team? And I tell you what,
he'd be amazing in a Man City team.
I tell you what, Harry Kane this season has adjusted his game.
No, can't speak.
He is now a number 10. Yeah, he's an intelligent footballer, and I think Harry Kane's got a decision to make this season. I really do think he's got a decision to make, because if the Jose experiment at Tottenham isn't going to provide silverware, Harry Kane, a man with that ability, needs to win a trophy. And I'm not even talking about the League Cup that they contest in April against Man City. Harry Kane's a fantastic goal scorer, you know.
Absolutely.
If you think about the injuries that he gets, as you said, every season, the guy's scoring 20+ goals every season, and you know he's gonna have a spell out on the sideline. So, fantastic footballer, scores goals, and don't forget, scores goals in an unsuccessful team.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't get down to if the question was a Premiership player, but I'm going to throw a player.
Okay, can I answer that question now?
Go on.
As I said to you, it depends what criteria you're judging it by. Is it a goal scorer or a natural footballer? Because there's two black footballers who I think are fantastic leaders of the line. The first one is Marcus Rashford. Is Marcus Rashford played down the centre?
Yeah.
Right.
But they've tried him down the centre. He's a flop. He's a flop down the centre.
When he first broke into the Man United team, he was playing down the centre and he was scoring goals. We know what they got to do to accommodate him.
Sorry, we're laughing at Edward. He's another one with no filter.
Man United, right? I've always gone for the marquee signing to bring in a striker. They realise how good Marcus Rashford is, and they realise he's a footballer who can play on the flanks, who can come in. He's a footballer who can basically play down the middle. And I'll tell you another good footballer, Sane at Liverpool. Done footballer. Absolutely.
Tell Ernie that.
Look, Mane, I had it written down.
Mane.
Yeah.
Superb footballer. I wish we signed him when he was at Southampton. I wish we signed him when we was at Southampton. If we'd have signed him, I would have stopped watching football until May, until they were giving out the prizes, because we'd have been there every single time.
Oh, every week. Yeah, every week.
Right. So listen, right about now, I'd like to bring in Ed the Red, because he's getting frustrated. He said we got him waiting like he's some good.
You're looking like
yeah, because I turned the heating off. I ain't got no money to waste. I'm like Sean. I'm careful with my money. The heating is off, so I got my hoodie on. How you doing, Sean? I've read the whole book. That's how long they had me waiting, bruv.
Hey, doctor, turn your mic down. Turn your mic down. You're too loud.
Can you hear me now?
You're still loud.
I don't know. You want me to? It's because I'm frustrated with you.
Wait. Hold on. Listen, only two things we're gonna ask you. Turn your mic down and put a bit of cream on. That fierce. You look dry. You look ashy, no rashy. Jesus, you're so ashy. You're the ashiest. You're ashy.
Sean, can you hear me, Sean?
Okay, leave my mate alone.
Well done. God bless you, my brother. The two footballers that you suggested are the two that I'd written down. I wonder if you've come to know Robbo as the idiot that we've come into know. Has he started to wind you up with any foolishness yet?
Not at all. Guess what?
Right.
Listen, whatever. Listen. He's got the fake Liverpool shirt for a start. You know what I mean?
That's true, Sean. That shirt is suspect.
That's it.
Him and Ernie are the perfect hosts of the show. Because you know, they're both football sound.
There's nothing fake about this, bruv.
Look, he's shouting. Right?
Hey, listen, this shirt comes from Portugal. It's not fake. Made somewhere.
Yeah. Some sweatshop in the Algarve. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. Some sweatshop in the Algarve.
It doesn't matter. Your shirt comes from a sweatshop too.
Oh please. I don't think so.
It's made by Nike. Nike employs sweatshops. Come on.
Right. This is ethically sourced, this shirt, okay? Ethically sourced. All right.
My backside is ethically sourced. You need to source some cream for Eddie. But anyway, Eddie, you need to turn down just slightly.
I've turned it down. Is that right?
You're still loud, man. You're louder than Ernie's mixing.
Can you hear me now? What's that?
Yeah.
I'm turning the whole thing down.
And louder than Robbo sound effects.
Anyway, we're all here. We still got a super fan, all the way from Florida, one of the greatest sound systems in the UK, Mike Anthony from Rampage, and he's also going to give us an insight of the West Ham way, which doesn't exist. But he also coached West Ham ladies, and they're very successful. And we've all seen the incredible
top London club, by the way.
Definitely, we've seen the incredible movement that women football is having all over the world. So Mike Anthony is going to give us some insight. He's going to be joining us from Florida. So Edward,
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Lovely. Sean, greetings to you. Greetings to you also, Rob. I am.
You're taking liberties now, because you're supposed to say greetings to me first, because we're fellow supporters, bruv.
Yeah, I apologize. I spent my time looking at those glasses you're wearing, thinking about Mr. Magoo. Anybody remember Mr. Magoo? Them thing that tick like the bottom of a milk bottle. They tick. Ernie, what? You might as well stand in the other room and read the thing.
No. You know what I mean? If I had the button here, you'd be missing now. You'd be going down in the red chair.
Hey, what's the rest of the wording on the hoodie? We're going to see no black.
No blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Whoa.
Yeah, I wore this into the BBC. You want to see how people run away from me.
No wonder you ain't been on for 2 weeks. That is why you ain't been on for 2 weeks. You told me it was your fault. That's why you ain't been for 2 weeks.
Hey, I'll talk about that in autobiography.
Yeah. I still need to get you on, bro. What happened is I went to a wedding in Stokey and I saw you there. I saw you eat a piece of chicken and I've been frightened to talk to you from then.
Me?
Yeah, look at him. Me. Robbie told me you tried to fight him one time. You were playing a charity match and he made a little joke about whether they had the shorts in your size. He said you nearly beat him up.
Let me tell you, one time me and Sean Wright was playing in a charity game, and the goal was at his mercy. Somebody put in a brilliant cross, and she rolls to the far post, and I know him never hit the ball.
You know what? I tell you, Ernie, remember? Listen, I tell you the story. I tell you how this goes, right? I tell you how the story was, right? Trevor Sinclair, he's gone down the wing, right? He put a superb cross in. I pulled away from this striker. And then he said, I've got a goal of mercy. I rolled like a salmon and
it was shocking.
And you know what? When you're looking for friends, you're looking for mates to basically say,
No.
Ernie was on the mic and he absolutely slaughtered me. And that's what we were mentioning.
It was disgrace. I couldn't defend him. It was the worst I've seen in my life, and I've seen some movies. But this was disgusting.
So people, listen, what we'd like you to do if you're watching us on Facebook, it's all good. Drop your comments on Facebook, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please. We're looking for. I know a few of you are watching. All you got to do is subscribe. We want to get that YouTube subscription up because Ernie needs a new shirt, and Eddie definitely needs cream. So
people want to know where Eddie got that hoodie from.
Eddie,
I was interviewing some kids doing some charity work, and they brought it in for me. And it wasn't until Black Lives Matter that I had the courage to actually wear it. So once that happened, I could wear it. No, it's. I love it. And there's another one actually that says all blacks, all dogs, all Irish. I like that one as well. It's great to be. I haven't seen you guys. You guys aren't even saying hello to me. Really, I ain't been here for 3 weeks. I've missed you very much. You're the first guest. Funny, it must be something about Chelsea supporters. When I saw Lewis on there, he was talking sense as well. They normally get. Well, Robert gets people that talk like him. He had Spoonie on him. If you ever heard of foolishness, Spoonie was talking. Honestly, how do you feel about West Ham being the top London club? By the way, Sean.
Huh?
How do you feel about West Ham being the top London club?
Okay, let me just point this out to you, Eddie. We are fourth in the league, yeah. You're fifth in the league, all right, on goal difference. Okay, so I don't know how you.
Let's that manager you've got, right? You know it, and I know is the most miserable, cantankerous. He start a fight in a room on his own. It's only a matter of time, bruv. When I first came on there,
we're talking about 2022, but Ernie,
yo.
Right, me and Daddy Early normally have a bet between Man United and Chelsea, and over the last couple of bets we've had, I've had to pay him £20 on a bottle of champagne.
Champagne?
Yeah.
Do you know what happens to that £20? Do you know what it goes to me?
Huh?
All the time people wanted to bring you.
I'm telling you now.
That's why Ernie's so comfortable handing me that £20.
We'll finish third in the league.
You what?
We'll finish the top four. We'll finish third.
Will you finish above Manchester United, Sean?
No.
Why are you so confident that Chelsea will finish in the top four?
I think, even though I'm still disappointed that Frank's gone, and I still think he should have been given that chance. Thomas Tuchel has come in, and obviously with the players who were not playing regularly, like your Alonso's and your Kovacic, they're now getting a run out in the team because he's giving everybody a clean slate. So they're basically playing really well to their potential now. And I think we can put a good run together. If we beat who's considered to be our bogey team, Southampton are not an easy team, as you know, Robbo, when they turned you over.
Yes.
But
I love it. Just a little jab in there.
Yeah, well, he is a guest.
Right. I've never seen Robbo so quiet. All right, but
you should be watching the show for the last 3 weeks. I've been very quiet.
But if we win tomorrow, then I think we're going to set the tone for the rest of the season. Especially next week, we've got Atletico Madrid at home. If we can,
that's a match, isn't it?
But can I ask?
That's a match, isn't it? And that Suarez, is that Suarez, isn't it?
Yeah. If we can keep him quiet, I think we can do it.
But do you think the team, what has been handed over to him by Frank Lampard, do you think as a squad depth, brilliant, but as a settled 11, can you see a settled 11 there?
Okay, this is my take on Frank Lampard. Okay, yes, he may have been fortunate to get the job, but he did a very good job in the first season, taking us to fourth.
Till they gave him money.
Right, hold on.
Oh, you're still too loud, Eddie.
He was great. It's great till they gave him 200 million to spend.
Let me just finish it, and then you can make the point. We lost in 2 cup finals. And with that squad he did, blooding the young players, getting us to 4th place was fantastic. Now, Eddie's just made the point about 200 million. I personally think at least 3 of those signings were not Frank's choice.
Which players do you think that? Which players are them? Which players?
I think we paid too much for Kai Havertz, who knows a very, very good player.
79 million, was it?
71 million, right? Let me just make the point I'm about to make. Chelsea got stung, right, by letting young potential players go who we had in our squad, like your Mohamed Salahs. I would never ever sold Kevin De Bruyne, not in a million years, right? So what they've basically done now, they tried to sign the best potential young players in and around Europe. Half of them were not Frank's choice. So he's now got to fit 15 players into 11 shirts. That's going to have a problem in terms of having consistency, a settled 11. And when you don't have a settled 11, because remember Chelsea had a 16 unbeaten match run up until when we lost to Arsenal. Yeah. We were top of the league. On December the 5th when we beat United. Right? Mikel Arteta was one game from the sack. And it just goes to show how football can turn around. Because if Chelsea had beaten Arsenal, Arteta was on his way. No two ways about it. Once he beat Chelsea, he went on a fantastic run until they lost the other day to Wolves in the FA Cup. Went on a fantastic run. Whereas Chelsea's form nosedived completely. And the final writing on the wall was when Man City took us to school and beat us. Now, Chelsea have got potential young good players who, if allowed to actually mature in the next 2 years, will be competing for the Premiership and other major titles. But as you know, especially if you take on the Chelsea managership, right, you do not get time. And the only reason why that Frank had the time that he did is because of his legendary status. But after a while, if you're losing 5 matches out of 8, guess what? You got to go.
I think you're right. I think you're definitely right about the Chelsea team. I see, and Ernie's not going to like me to say that, but I see Chelsea with the potential squad that they have winning the league at some point in the next 2-3 years.
I think so. I
can see it. I mean, because they got,
and I can tell you who could do so as well. If Arteta makes some astute signings to add to their young talent. Right, Arsenal can be back up there. I'm telling you.
Can't see it with Arsenal. I think Rodney. I said it. I think there's something. I just think there's something behind the system at Arsenal in terms of signing players, keeping players too long. I think they've come out of that. They've come out of that mold yet.
In terms of the Chelsea scenario, before I deal with the Arsenal thing, right? It's ironic that Tuchel is now trying to find his best 11, Sean, right? Yeah. And that's ironically what Lampard was doing. Do you know what I mean? It's, the other day, we saw Kepa come back into the first team, I think against Newcastle, while Mendy had been proving himself for the last couple of months, as far as I was concerned. So I actually had Chelsea to win the title at the start of the season because for each position, they've got world-class players. Yeah. So I expect, I think I said it to Mastermind the other day, Chelsea fans should be excited because when they sack a manager, they normally go on to win something. Do you know what I mean? And there's world-class players there. As far as Arsenal are concerned, I think the potential's there with some good signings. The only problem with Arsenal is that they're not going to spend the money for world-class players.
Arsenal's problem with Rodney? Yeah. I think they're still caught in the situation whereby they're still looking for that wonderful, magical signing of a Patrick Vieira, who they signed from Milan for £3.4 million. Looking for a £1 million signing.
Exactly, that's what I said. It's about the site. It's about how they approach buying players. And the person that said that, I'm talking rubbish because I see Chelsea before I see Arsenal. The reason why I see Chelsea before I see Arsenal because Chelsea keeps doing it, and that's why I would say Chelsea. The potential of Chelsea winning the Premiership is
car crash management. That's what it is. Rodney's made a point. Car crash management.
As opposed to a team winning it once in 30 years and then dropping by the wayside.
You know that. I wanted to come in with that there, Eddie, but you beat me 30 years.
No, Eddie, I think that's a bit unfair because Liverpool were building for 3 years. Remember?
It's Van Dijk.
When Klopp came in,
more than Van Dijk, son.
No, hold on. When Klopp came in, remember he took over mid-season in October 15. He took Liverpool to 2 cup finals.
They
lost to Man City in the penalty shootout, and they, apart from that player Moreno, they just collapsed against the Seville. Then what happened? It took them time to actually get the team together.
The right players, yeah.
The right players. The two major signings which transformed Liverpool was Alisson and Van Dijk. That's what made them into a world-class team.
Tip them over, yeah.
No, not world-class. Hold on, Sean. Don't get carried away. Not world-class.
Come on, Ernie.
Sorry.
No, not world-class.
Is there a better centre-half in the...
Listen,
Listen, Ernie. Is there a better centre-half in the world?
Defend the title.
Is there a better hang on? Is there a better centre-half in the world than Virgil van Dijk? Talk, let me hear.
No, I'll give you that. But
well, that's world-class. Well, you've got to be world-class.
Yeah, but it isn't that, is it? Listen, I and Rodders, you can back me up. From the first time we did this, I tried to explain to Robert that something was going badly wrong at Liverpool. For the first time, I said to him, it isn't just about Van Dijk, although he is a world-class player, but something fundamentally was wrong with their behaviour, their attitude.
Come back with that nonsense.
Yeah, but but how many? You've won one game, I think, since we started doing this. Since we started doing the podcast,
no.
You hadn't lost before. Well, all the time Trump was president, you hadn't lost the game. Then we lost the battery.
Dry face. We beat Tottenham. We beat West Ham. Who else did we beat along the way?
And you lost. You lost to some good clubs as well.
We won 3 games since we started to do this.
Right? I think somebody made a point earlier before I came on. Right? Sometimes you can keep a team for too long. Maybe that Liverpool forward line, right, started to show its age, right? When Jota came in, he was scoring some fantastic goals. Whether or not, and then you got to ask yourself, if Jota's going to be the mainstay or the future of that Liverpool lineup, which of the 3 are going to drop out?
Yeah, but
we all know which one's going to drop out. We all know who's going to drop out.
Eddie's point is correct though, because the injuries for Liverpool. One, it shows their class, because if any ordinary club had suffered those injuries, right, they wouldn't be where they are right now. Let's be fair about that. They've been absolutely brilliant. But I've got to say this: they lost 7-2 to Aston Villa with Van Dijk in the team.
Yeah,
and I think those were the early warning signs, right?
No, I don't think that. I don't see that had nothing to do. That's not warning signs. I think that game had a lot to do with. No, that game had a lot to do with.
Rodney, I think you could take it back a stage, because when Liverpool beat Leeds 4-3, if you saw the goal that they conceded, right, to Leeds, who were into the Premier
guys, we also listen
7-2 to a team that only just escaped relegation.
Hang on, guys, listen, we made
some great signings, and also we're talking about world-class players. You're absolutely right. Alisson Becker's form against Manchester City and Leicester, if that had been Karius, he would have been hung, drawn, and quartered in London at Tower Bridge.
Yeah, but according to Eddie thinks that when players have bad form, it's because Mane ain't talking to them. That's what that's Eddie's thing, isn't it?
I didn't tell you that. I told you, and if you look at the Tottenham documentary, if you read the books about Manchester United, you know that the dynamics, and it's happening at Real Madrid now, the dynamics within a changing room are key. There are 2 or 3 or 4 personalities who will control the room.
Well, what leads you to believe that there's a problem?
Because I believe you got at least 2 people there who believe they're the top striker at the club.
No,
I think you got one person who believes the world is against them. Look at them to that boy there, and they're not giving me the respect I deserve. He doesn't pass me the ball when he could pass me the ball, and I think that he feels as though he's doing more. Now I've told you this before, and you won't listen. And that's what you talked about, the names that your mum used to call you. I'm sure she used to call you thick, hard-headed, ignorant, but all them other names as well, Robert.
Anyway, he's got a point there, mate. He's got a point there, because you can see the dynamics on the field sometimes. Right?
Yeah.
But that's normal. That is normal.
Totally unselfish player. Salah is a fantastic footballer, but Salah wants all the glory and wants to score the goals, right? Yeah. And sometimes you can actually see it when Salah's in a great position but Sane's in a better position. All he has to do is lay him in, and he won't do it. And I thought that Sane was on his way out because he's had enough. And
Mane.
Yeah, Mane. Yeah, Sadio Mane is on his way out. He's going to probably go to Spain because you can only take so much of that.
Guys, we will see. But I don't think that's the case. Let's go to. This is what, you see. Anytime Edward comes in, he starts this needle. Let's go to the fixture is the fixture list. Let's go to the fixture list. The first game.
Hold on.
Tomorrow.
We've got Mike waiting.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to Mike because Mike is on the obviously West Ham's got to play Tottenham. We know that. But let's just quickly go to the game since Sean's here. Southampton, Chelsea, early kickoff tomorrow, 12:30 at the St. Mary's. Tuchel is a smart cookie, but he's up against another smart cookie who probably know his game as much as Tuchel is he's a very shrewd operator. But this coach and a Southampton team that can come up trumps on their day. What do you reckon? Yeah. What would you reckon that will be for Chelsea?
Okay, when we played them earlier at the bridge of the season, we had a 3-1 lead and we just let that slip. I don't think we're going to make the same mistake again. I think we need to keep a sharp eye on Danny Ings because he's a fantastic striker. And if we can keep an eye on him, not give too many free kicks in and around our penalty area, I'm looking for Chelsea to win that game 2-0.
Ernie, you taking this down, Ernie? Because this is Sean Wallace. He's usually right.
Sean,
okay. 2-0. All right, we've got Burnley or West Brom also. And then I'm not going to dwell on it too long because Edward's here. Liverpool versus Everton, the big Premiership derby. I know he's going to say it's not the biggest derby, but I'll go to Eddie. Eddie,
it's a massive derby.
Liverpool, Everton. There's a lot at stake in terms of local pride, grudging rights and all of that. But Liverpool also have, I believe, the players will feel that their season was derailed. Yeah,
that's where Van Dijk got injured, and I think
Thiago was put out for a few.
I think that Klopp has tried to play it down, but I don't. I think we know if we were in a team and one of our boys got taken out by the team that's closest to us geographically in terms of derbies, I think we know we've got to deal with them boy there. So I believe that certainly in midfield there's going to be a lot of rough stuff going on. But I think this is the kind of game they could get up for, somehow, because it's personal pride now, and you can't let the ego get in the way when it comes to pride. This is my family. But I see a draw.
I see a draw. Nil.
I see a score draw. I see a score draw.
What? 1-1, 2-2?
Which is a defeat for Liverpool because Everton are the type of team, good team, but the sort of team that you would expect Liverpool to beat comfortably from the record. But 1-0.
And give us your prediction quickly because we didn't ask you about the Chelsea and Southampton.
I think that Sean's being kind. I think that he knows they are a difficult team for Chelsea to beat, but they've had some awful games. They've had some absolutely abysmal games. So they're a bit up and down. And I just think with a new manager, Chelsea have got them 2-0 every time.
2-0. Rodney, quickly the Southampton Chelsea and then move over to the Liverpool Everton.
I think very quickly, I think Chelsea will win at St. Mary's because the Southampton team that played Chelsea at the Bridge is not the team of tomorrow. They've lost a lot of energy. They've lost a lot of key players. I think Chelsea will win that 2-1.
2-1. And the Liverpool, Everton, the big game.
The Liverpool one, I say Liverpool going to sneak it. The reason I say that is all the reasons that Eddie said. I think there's going to be some revenge. I'll tell you what, it's just as well there's no crowd at Anfield tomorrow. Because based on the Pickford violence on Van Dijk, right, in the first game, can you imagine the cop if they were in position tomorrow? It'd be
horrible.
I just think that Liverpool will sneak it for the same reasons that we talked about earlier. I think 3-1. I think Salah, Mane, Firmino will get their act together. But it's the only thing that worries me, and I've got to be serious, Liverpool are just so vulnerable defensively. I know they're going to concede.
Sean, well, you never asked Sean about the Liverpool Everton game, Robbo.
Yeah.
Sean?
I think I've got to agree with the Rodney there. As long as Liverpool don't play with that sort of revenge type of football in their head, because it's easy to actually lose your sort of shape, your sort of way of playing. Obviously, they're going to go in hard. Obviously, they're going to really want to actually get a win for Van Dijk. But I think if they play a control game, then they should comfortably win that, because I think that Everton are basically treading treacle.
Ernie, what do you reckon the scores on those two games? Chelsea, Southampton, Liverpool, Everton.
Yeah, I think Southampton, Chelsea, Chelsea playing with a new energy right now with this Tuchel geezery, and people are playing for their places. Although I like Southampton, they seem to have gone off the boil. So I will go 2-0 Southampton. Everton against Liverpool. I've got a sneaking feeling it's going to be a draw. I think there's going to be so much going on, right? That is there's going to be too much going on, and there's going to be mistakes at the back from Liverpool and Everton, and I can see that ending 2-2.
Okay. Well, there's so many commentators and even you guys here that are plumbing for a draw. And I'll be honest with you, my heart tells me it's going to be a draw. My heart tells me it's going to be a 1-1, because Everton, they're not a bad outfit, and they've got a brilliant coach. And coming up against Klopp, Ancelotti's record against Jurgen Klopp is actually better than what people think. He's gone in and turned over Liverpool twice. I think he's done that at, was he at Lazio? What team was he at, Rodney?
Napoli.
Napoli. And his record against Klopp is not to be sniffed at. So my heart's telling me it's going to be a draw, and I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin's going to be around for that game. You got Richarlison, who will be looking to get Bruck up in this game. But my heart is telling me, yeah, it's going to be a 1-1. But I'm looking for a Liverpool, as what Sean said, a very controlled. And even though we lost the game against Leicester, watching Liverpool in the Champions League, they just took a step back. They know they've been wounded, and they're not playing that game what we saw against Man City. And I think they will go in at Anfield with that same control. They'll have too much control of the football. I'm saying Liverpool 2-0 against Everton.
2-0. I thought you said 1-1.
No, my heart is telling me that I think it's a 1-1. I think it's 2-0. If they play their right game, it's definitely 2-0. Now, listen, we've got all the way from Florida. He's a super fan because obviously the Sunday game, the big game on Sunday, Tottenham versus West Ham. And as I said before, he's coached football, women's football, and Lewis from Mastermind can testify. He has the biggest sound system, the biggest static sound system. I think he's here. Is Mike here? Mike Anthony.
All the way from Miami.
Mike Anthony for Rampage Sound System. Good evening, Mike. Or good afternoon, whatever time it is.
Very interesting listening to you guys. Very interesting.
So Mike, before we start talking about your connection and obviously this full West Ham way, wherever it is, just tell us, what the hell are you doing in Miami right now?
Well, I'm actually in Florida. A lot of people get confused and they say Miami, but if you say to a Floridian or someone that lives in Florida, they live in Miami, they feel very insulted. So
you took me to Miami in 10 minutes, so it feels like the same place. I said, Mike, drop me to Miami. And he said, but I live in Florida. I said, drop me. And he dropped me. He got me there in 10 minutes. Mate, mad.
There you go. So, yeah, I'm over here and I coach professionally here. I coach full time. My DJing side, I still do. I fly in and you guys see me in England. Bar COVID for any big events, for like Carnival or for New Year's Eve and stuff. So I fly back and meet up with Treble T and the boys and I do that stuff. But I was coaching in England before I came here. So I wanted to carry on that side of that profession even more. You know, as you get older, you want to try different things. And Even though I still DJ now and again, coaching has always been where my heart is.
Are they still calling it soccer?
Yes. Funny enough, we might laugh, but no,
so
but
you're a
wait.
soccer coach. Are you a soccer coach?
Actually, I am a soccer coach, and I'll tell you why.
You're a sucker, but you're not a sucker. I don't know about
coach. No, about coach.
No, but the soccer side of it actually comes from England. So the Americans actually call it. It used to be soccer is an abbreviation for social something. It was a classing thing.
Association football comes from Mike.
There you go. And the upper class used to call it that, and of course the man on the street would call it football. So they've only taken it from England and just used it as the normal word as soccer, abbreviated it. So
what? Yeah. Let me ask you, what are football mums like in America? I heard they're a nightmare. Like little Johnny, because you were coaching youngers as well. Like, are they crazy? And I heard like you get extra tips. Like make sure Johnny learns to kick with his left foot.
Yeah,
I heard the tips. I heard you get tips.
Right. Okay. There's a couple of things. The first thing is football is very new here for a lot of people. And it's the third or fourth sport. So, and again, with all the other sports, I believe normal Americans think they can buy talent, they can buy technical ability, and they can buy
coaches.
Soccer IQ, as they call it, soccer IQ.
Buy Mike.
So they think that money is the answer to everything. And what they've done, they've turned football into probably one of the most expensive sports in America, which we know as a cheap sport. You know, you pay your £5 subs and you go play Hackney Masters. You're good. You go pub afterwards and have a little drink and a Sunday roast. Over here, just one season alone for an 11-year-old is anything between, I'd say, £3,500 to £4,000 a year.
So no jumpers for goalposts.
or trees. No, that don't make none of that. It's a real business here. Real business, real money, and coaches get paid. They get paid good money.
Do they respect the fact that you're a British coach?
Sorry, say that again.
Do they respect the fact that you're a British coach and a black British coach?
The one refreshing thing I found here, there are black-owned clubs. There are a lot of players here from the Caribbean, which is, again, very refreshing. A lot of players from Haiti, from Jamaica, and that's a beautiful thing. There is still fragments of Hispanic-run clubs and so on and so forth. And you can go to somewhere like Key Biscayne down in the south, and all the players are blonde, for example. And then you can come up to somewhere like Hialeah or north of Miami, and then you've got or Miramar, where it's two Jamaicans own the club, and it's a top club. So that which is refreshing. It is actually quite refreshing. There is still a lack of professional knowledge, though. I was speaking to Jason Roberts the other day, who's set up an academy in Grenada, who's here running CONCACAF. So he's here. He's working with all the teams from the international teams from the Caribbean, and you can see there is a lack of real professional knowledge at the top end of the game here.
Oh, there you go, Mike Anthony, with that insight there. It's amazing. I mean, I've been to Florida and seen Mike at it. You know, he got to go, got to coach, got to go, and he's in and out, and as well as doing his DJ, and he's still keeping the standard as Rampage flag bearer. So, Mike,
how's the Beckham franchise down there, Mike?
Really interesting because one of his goalkeepers I coached. So I just to give you guys a brief insight, I coach what they call it travel soccer here. That would be the equivalent in England of semi-pro. So I do that as my full time, and then I coach high school varsity, and where the coaching in England, for example, you know, players want to be a professional. Their drive is to be a professional player. Here is to get their college education paid for. And you got to understand that for some of these players, if you get to play at a collegiate level, they're saving 100,000, sometimes 200,000 in school fees. So I coach at that level, but then I coach some that want to go professional. One I just dropped off in England in August. I have one at Philadelphia Union in the MLS, and one who's just turned 18 is playing, say, U23s for Inter Miami. Now, when Inter Miami first came, there was a lot of objection to the club being down here. It disrupted things a lot. And there was a lot of promise to, you know, bring homegrown talent. But Florida is the size of England, but doesn't have the population of England. It's got something like 18 to 20 million. And then you compete with American football. Remember, Florida's got two, Tampa and Dolphins. They've got basketball teams. They've got baseball teams. So now you break down the numbers, and then you realize there's not that much, talent here. There's some, but not enough. So now you start to have the influence and rumors. Hey, Messi might come into Miami and so on and so forth. So it's doing well, and I believe better than expected. But Beckham has that grounding and the background coming from the UK, not only playing at the biggest clubs in the world, but knowing how to run a club from the grassroots academy level all the way up to the top.
Wow. So is it doing well?
Yes, very well. Surprisingly well, because you guys touched on some really good talking points about teams that gel and having the right pieces to the puzzle. And he's really building that puzzle nicely. And he's taking his time. He realizes you don't have to throw money at it. And they're in a temporary stadium at the moment, but they're at the moment building their super stadium, which will look phenomenal.
It's not a Sainsbury's car park.
Slightly bigger.
Okay. Tottenham, don't worry, man.
Isn't it by some waterfront they've got it, isn't it? It's by some waterfront.
Well, yeah, where they're building the main stadium is, but they revamped an old stadium. That's where they are now, and it looks nice. And of course, the weather down here, it's all open air. It's beautiful. You're playing in the sunshine. You're good. Like, it's really hot here now. Sorry about the snow, guys, but it's really warm here. I've got to
crazy
because the air conditioning's cold.
I've got my heating on. Don't worry about it, son.
Wow.
So
Mike,
go on,
you want to ask the question because you're the one that's still using a TomTom, Ernie. And I've been telling you, Ernie, look, if you go on your phone, you get this app called Waze, and he's like, yeah, it's not on me, TomTom.
He said that. I only threw away the A to Z yesterday. Right, TomTom.
But Ernie is stuck, and Tottenham fans are stuck too. So Ernie, I'm leaving it to you.
Well, I just want to know, Mike used to coach the West Ham ladies. How do you see ladies football going at the moment, Mike? Obviously, go on.
Yeah. No, funny story. When I was coaching in England and I was doing my badges, I was doing my UEFA B badge, and a top footballer said to me, "Coach women's." I said, "Why?" They said, "Boys at 15, 16 know it all. But you get a girls' team, you get all your coaching points out, your path." I said, "Great idea." So me and a friend that we all know, Ray Paul, we said, let's go and do our UEFA B and let's find a girls' team. So he rings me, he goes, "Oh, West Ham ladies have found they're looking for a coach." So I said, "Okay, let's do it." It was the B team or something. I said, "Let's do the B team, less traveling. Take this team. They're all 17 years old. Young team, and then we won the FA Cup with them, the Women's FA Cup, the U19s FA Cup, and it was the same year that West Ham got relegated. So we were the only team in the whole of West Ham at any age that won anything. Was this little girls' team that won the FA Cup? So
that's like the Arsenal ladies; they won a lot of trophies as well, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I tell you what, it's such a huge. It's like on the financial money side of things, there are over 400,000 girls playing football in America alone.
And you know why? And that is why they're the World Cup winners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You notice that's the reason why they're the World Cup winners. Okay.
Because, and the facilities. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mike, talking about West Ham, because you're playing Chelsea in the Women's League Cup final. Yeah. Right? And it was only a year before last that West Ham got to the FA Cup, Women's FA Cup final. So obviously the work you've done and put in should be applauded in relation to your coaching acumen. It's fantastic.
I do get asked, sometimes people frown at women playing and why do you coach women? And all I did was employ the same doctrine I would do with a men's team. And that doctrine is, we call it the 3 Ds. From age 0 to 11, it's discovering if you like football. Then from 11 to 16 is the development of the player. And then from 16, 17 onwards, delivery. Deliver what you've developed, and what you've discovered as a sport. And I live by those three elements, and it's actually quite refreshing to see that girls, even though there's no real professional league here in America, are so happy when they launched the league in England. It's a growth. It's where else can football grow? All boys try to play in England. Where it can grow is in women's football, and that means more money at a grassroots level. It means more facilities, more investment, more people applying to do badges, and more employment within the scene. And I think it's a good growth.
Have you seen? Did you when you left the UK? Was you seen an uptake with black coaches in the game, or was it still relatively new? Or as they some players have alluded to that. What's the point? Like I've heard a few ex-pros talk about the doors are just like you can actually see the door before you even get past it. Was it moving in that direction?
I had spoken to a few professionals who complained that white professionals were being fast-tracked, but they weren't. Which, when you hear that, I mean, the disparities it can be really disheartening. Coming here to America, imagine that I'm coming here and I'm finding more black-owned clubs, more black coaches, more employed coaches of color, and they can own it. And then you go to England, and then it's a struggle to find black ownership of clubs, black managers. Which is, for me, it's quite disheartening that they're more open to it here, because the one good thing is that they look at it. Some Americans still look at it as the fourth sport here. So we can grow here, whereas you go back to England and there's still that hierarchy, and you still look around and there is a lack of coaches or professional players going to get their badges.
And you know why? As I've always alluded to the fact that in relation to the Black American experience in terms of their development, not only in sport, in politics, in business, right? Britain lags is 50 to 60 years behind.
Absolutely.
Right? And that is the reason why Britain has not embraced true development in relation to black ability, not only in politics, sport, senior management, and so on and so forth. And until we actually, get parity in relation to the revolution of the black empowerment, we're just going to be light years behind, I think.
I'll give you an example, just to add to that. I know. For example, a black coach from England who came here, he has an A license, and he works 40 hours a month, and he's on 100,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
at pro level.
I've got to say the answer to the question though, Mike, is why not coach a women's football club? Well, it's Scotland that just won 10 something, isn't that? Aren't they being temporarily coached by somebody called Steve McLaren? I think that's one thing. But speaking to the bigger point, and there is a kind of circle in all of this, Tottenham are playing West Ham, is that right? West Ham are being managed by somebody who used to manage Manchester United, and the player who left there, now playing at Crystal Palace, ain't taking a knee anymore. I hope that we don't finish this without having a little go at that, because that's quite deep, actually, when you read what he says about why he doesn't want to take the knee anymore. Does the knee thing work over there? Because that's where it started with Kaepernick, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah. This...
Who's still being followed out, I hasten to add. Yeah? What he's done, sacrificed his career, everybody's basically embraced the taking of the knee, yet Colin Kaepernick is still no longer playing full-time professional.
Yeah, but that's a different message, isn't it, Sean? That's like Tommy Smith. These guys will transcend sport. He's not put on this earth to be a reserve quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. He is here, and in 40 years' time, we'll be talking about him like we talk about Tommy Smith, like we talk about Malcolm X, like we talk about Muhammad Ali. It's a big, I understand from a sporting perspective, it's sad, but his mission is bigger than that, isn't it, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
It is, but still,
let me add something.
I'll talk about Wilfred Zaha.
I look at American parents and kids who look at the Premier League, and they are impressed that the way all the guys on the field take the knee and empower, and it's almost like, wow, you guys have taken what we do, and it's almost like there's almost a system behind it. It's almost like there's an NHS behind it for bad or good or what. It's like they look and they're like, wow, look, they all do it. Whereas here, remember, America has this mentality of, I can say what I want, freedom of speech. No one tells me what to do. So I don't want to take the knee. I want to take the knee. And it's all over the place. There's no real structure. And that's why when you have a man who puts his career on the line, he can get kind of pushed to one side and forgotten about. And then that person does it over there. But then this person doesn't take the knee, but then he opens a black school with his money. There's no coordinated effort. There's no coordinated movement. It's so fragmented state by state. And you've got to look at America. You really, honestly, it's taken me years to realize this. You have to look at America.
It's 50 countries.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth.
50 countries.
50 separate countries that work independently apart.
Yeah, I mean, other places, Germany works out there. Basically, it's a federal system, isn't it? And it's run by different states. And you can see that in the way they dealt with the crisis that is COVID-19. I just think that Wilfred has made a point that it's difficult to deny. When you do something, right, immediately there's an impact of doing it. And then after a while you go, oh, okay, this is what we do. And then at some point somebody goes, well, what's changing? What's being affected? Is it just something that we now do, like shaking hands? And he's got to that point, isn't he? Because we're getting more stories of abuse from Rashford to whoever than we've ever got. It's like, since those people can't go to the match, they sit down in their house and start writing you black this or whatever.
Ed, I thought this moment would have come sooner. I didn't think that it would last for so long, because I was actually surprised that when the Premier League started again, that they decided, hey, we're going to do it for the rest of the season. Because I just thought that's also an easy way of just writing off our.
That's right. There's no plan. There's no plan. Because actually, what you have to do is pay people properly. The Rooney Rule, in terms of getting black managers in terms of players getting paid the same amount of money. You have to deal with the structure of it. This kind of, if we do this gesture, then nothing matters. I think that's what happens in a lot of sport, actually. Rodney's better suited to talk
was it announced that they would do the take the knee for the rest of the entire season? See, I thought that was crazy.
But it is unraveling, isn't it? I mean, Brentford decided that they're no longer going to do it. Les Ferdinand's QPR, same thing.
Yeah, Les was one of the first to speak out, wasn't he?
We've got to appreciate what Zaha is saying, right? He's not saying he's anti this, anti that. He just wants more action. And he's also saying the gesture of players taking the knee isn't guaranteeing squat diddly.
Of course.
He's currently injured, so it's going to be fascinating when Crystal Palace play again, right? Because what you might have is all the guys in that team might well back him. And
he's a star player, isn't he?
Absolutely. What he's actually doing, he's actually bringing more attention to the subject in hand, isn't he?
This is what we wanted to do.
Isn't it? As well as he's making the point, right? Gesture should equal progress.
That's right. Absolutely. Action.
Real progress and real change. You can have all the gestures you like. Yeah, you can take the knee, as he basically says. I'd rather stand proud and stand tall as a black man as opposed to taking the knee. But you can have all the gestures you like in the world. If it doesn't equate to progress, then what's the point?
I saw it as like, let's just take the knee.
These Premier League players, right? These Premier League players, watch out for this, right? They are slowly but surely coming together. The abuse that they're suffering online, they talk, they chat, they've got WhatsApp groups, right? And I'm telling you right now, when these players eventually get together properly, that's when the game's going to start making some moves, because it will have no choice.
So who would be the leader of the pack then? If we
No. It's not about who the leader of the pack is, and it's not also about black players only. We need fair-minded white players to back this scenario.
It doesn't change until that happens.
It doesn't change. Mike Dean was getting abused for a decision he made. A referee was getting abused for a decision he made in the West Ham Fulham game. Mikel Arteta has said he's been getting grief as well. As soon as everybody comes together, then we're going to have some progress.
And not just the players. I think the social media platform giants have a responsibility as well. You see what's happening now in Australia, where Mark Zuckerberg and
he's overplayed his hand, Sean. Watch that story. That is the first undoing of Facebook.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to say to you, right? Because if they don't actually be part of this, and basically think that we're an independent law on ourselves, you're going to see what's going to happen to the social media platforms.
Well, Facebook, but Google made a deal. I know we're going off in an era here, and Robbo's fallen asleep because we're using words that are too big for him. But Google made a deal, Sean.
No, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm not falling asleep. I am actually counting the shot. Listen, I'm actually counting the shots. Listen, what I was going to say is this conversation is really, 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 really the juice. And myself and Ernie have sidelined a date for Easter Friday.
Good Friday.
And Good Friday to talk about more of the problems that we encounter daily with where football is concerned. So it's not that I want to turn the tap off. I want the tap. I want it when it comes out on Good Friday. It comes out with a force. Right. So guys, please,
can I say something, Robbo?
Just for the listeners. Just for the listeners.
I've got to sign out now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to sign out. So if I'm invited to that chat on Good Friday, all right, I'd love to be there.
Hey, Sean, don't wear the shirt. Drop your token in, right? Listen,
Robbo, can I sing this out? That looks like a token from the old petrol stations like you used to get in the 70s.
It's actually one of them. It's actually the ones you used to get in the lucky bags, and Chelsea one. Chelsea one.
It looks like one of those chocolate gold.
This is real, man. This is real, dude.
Sean, before you go, hold on, Sean. Before you go, we had a question from Yvonne H.
Yeah.
What did it say? Something in regards to players being abused on the pitch, taking a stance and walking off. What do you reckon?
As Rodney made the point, the only way footballers can actually take control of the whole situation is basically saying, guess what? We're not standing for this anymore. And if players if managers like Gareth Southgate were going to support the fact that when we were mercilessly blued because of the colour of our skin in Bulgaria, what they should have done, walk straight off. Because if you walk straight off...
He ain't that guy.
He ain't that guy.
He ain't that guy. He ain't that guy. He's not that guy, Sean.
Guys, you want my gas tank to run out? I said to you, Easter, we're going to do this.
Okay.
I'm not going to be invited.
But it's really important though. This conversation.
That's why we must carry on the conversation. We can't just done the gas out tonight, Edward.
Okay.
I'm afraid. Sadly, since you started this, ask Rodney. There've been time after time. I think there's a match where Lukaku and Ibra are going to come together again. And the last time he told him about his mum and all kinds of things. So it's not just happening in England; it's happening all over Europe. What you're gonna talk about it a lot?
We are. We're gonna make you grease up.
All right, boys, listen.
Come back Easter. But listen, Eddie. We still got Mike just to touch on the West Ham game.
Yeah, you got to send back to Sean. Are you listening?
That's what I'm going to do. All right, BBC host. So listen, Ernie, it's only right we say goodbye to Sean the right way. Sean, when are you back on the TV?
I was on tonight.
Yeah, he said when you back on.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure the sort of running order because
he doesn't know the schedules. He's rich, man. You didn't see the man yard.
Living nice.
I live in a three-terrace. I live in a terraced three-bedroom house. Okay, all right. I've not changed. I've lived on the same street for the last 55 years. Okay?
Yeah, but somebody told me that you've done some excavation and you've gone down in the ground.
He's built next door and he's built down into the basement and up into the loft.
Sean, listen.
Rodney, you got back here, bro. Rodney.
We definitely would love you back Easter. We are gonna open up this subject a lot wider, and we want the listeners to come back. That's why I'm calling time. But listen, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. We love what you do on the TV. We're gonna see you Easter Friday, bro.
Eddie, I'm coming on the show, right?
Yeah, so anytime you want. I've got a couple of shows now, so I'll talk to you about that. I'm just going to get some power. The computer's going to crash.
Go on, so
Mike Anthony, before we let you go, Mike Anthony, can you explain the West Ham way?
Your mic's gone.
Your mic's gone, bro. Mike Anthony, your mic's gone.
We can't hear your mic.
We can't hear you.
Your headphones, possibly.
Look forward to the Easter discussion. Okay. It's all gone. It's all gone.
Mike, plug back out your.
It's gone.
You can hear, yeah, but we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You know what happened?
He's gonna log back in.
What's his name? Innit? Agent Orange has got to him. Agent Orange.
He's gone. He's gone, Ernie.
He's gone. Right.
So come on.
Yes.
Rod. It's been all right tonight, really.
We should get him back in for the next, just a quick view. But listen, the other games, obviously, West Ham, Tottenham. I can't be bothered talking about this, but Arsenal, Man City. Rodney, quickly, what's your prediction on that game?
3-3.
3-1 Man City.
Oh, geez.
I think I'm back.
Yeah, Mike. Hold on, Mike. And Ernie, I'll give you my prediction on the Man City. I think it's going to be 3-1 also Man City.
Yeah.
Man United, Newcastle, the last game on Sunday, Ernie.
3-1 Manchester United.
Yeah, I think United. No, they're not that good. I reckon that's going to be that's a 2-0 Man United. I think Newcastle will give it a go. Definitely.
Yeah. They will give it a go. 3-1.
So, Mike.
Yes.
What is the West Ham way, as Ernie said?
I think West Ham, it's about consistency. They've been consistently putting the same 11 players out, minor 1 or 2 changes over a long period. And I think they've got a very balanced squad with a little bit of depth for once. I still think they miss a trick with Felipe Anderson being out on loan. But Soucek in the middle with Rice has been fantastic. I think Lingard was a great steal. Everybody was Rick texting me saying, "Oh, you bought a 2 left-footed player. Why'd you get Lingard? He's awful signing." And I think he fits the puzzle quite well. And Moyes knows him from his from working with the lad from before. And I just think Moyes was the right person to steady the ship. Can he attract players? No. But can he make an engine tick? Definitely. And without spending a lot of money, doing a couple of loans here and there, he lost money on Heller. He's got a very balanced, consistent team. And you guys touched on it before. He's got a very happy changing room. Those guys get on. You can see the chemistry with those guys when they play. And the formula works.
So what do you reckon the score's going to be? It's an early game.
Midday Sunday.
On Sunday. There's been a few ding-dongs between Tottenham and West Ham over the years. Some hilarious ones when you watch those games.
Well,
it's such a funny derby, I must say.
Lanzini's goal was the best goal of the season so far, in my opinion. Just the fact that it was scored as the last kick of the game, and it was scored from such a ridiculous angle and distance. And it was a madness. It was like 10 or 15 minutes of Tottenham madness, 3-0 up, and then like 7-8 minutes of West Ham madness. Again, I think derbies are very unpredictable. I think Tottenham have shown they are very beatable, and it depends on if they turn up. If Kane and Song are on form, they're going to be a problem to handle. But I believe West Ham will not give up. They will grind out till the last kick of the game. I'm hoping for maybe a 2-1 or 3-2 game. My good old friend Chris Sweeney, he's a Tottenham supporter. Yeah, and what makes it worse is both of our birthdays on the 22nd of Feb. So how about that for a birthday treat? So for both of us. But I'm hoping for 3-2 West Ham. I think we owe them one. And we got away. We got lucky last time with the 3-3.
Eddie, we didn't get any of your predictions. But the obviously
Let's start with that one. I think it's really difficult to see West Ham beating Tottenham. Tottenham did that 5-4, didn't they, against Everton? So they were absolutely shattered. You know, that's 5-4 in extra time. They've just come off a good victory, you know, where they're playing without Harry Kane, and they did incredibly well. I think Bale had a goal and an assist, and you really don't, even at 60%, it'd be terrible for any team in the Premiership to be facing, whether he's still on the golf course or not. I really see that one as a Tottenham victory, unfortunately, if I'm honest with you.
An away victory for Tottenham.
I think so. I think if they don't win that, then, you know, their season is, you know, is totally reliant on the cups, isn't it?
Oh, they have Jose. They got the Jose way.
Yeah, I think he's the next guy. Him first or the Chelsea manager? Which one of them is going to go first?
I think they both survive. I think they both survive till the end of the season. What about your prediction, Eddie, on the Manchester United Newcastle?
Well, you know, before I came onto that, I was having a look. You know, we've done really badly against some of them. What's that draw against West Brom? The awful result against Sheffield. It's like we can get ourselves up for the big games. It's like, you know, the tough games. And these ones where we think we're going to just beat up a boy, it just doesn't work out that way. But it's just that, you know, it's Brucey, and he's a Man United. He's Man United, isn't he? So
his record's crap against Man United, though.
You know what?
They don't really score.
Eddie, the key to it, Bally's got to play.
Well, you say that, right? He played midweek, didn't he? And every time we talk about him playing, he doesn't. And I'm not sure that he's the number one choice, if I'm honest with you.
He's a third choice.
He made Maguire look good during the week.
Well, I think they've got some really difficult decisions to make in defence, have we, Man United, with our goalkeeper now being challenged by this youth. I think I think defence and midfield are where we need help. McTominay's come a couple of lovely volleys in the last couple of games. Really nice. And he looks like he's grown into it. You know what I mean? Like, he feels as though, I mean this. You know what I mean?
He might try to be like Henderson. Anyway, allow him, man. Listen. Ernie.
I ain't Henderson volley.
Yeah.
Ernie.
Yeah.
Time. We've gone over so much today. Eddie, thank you for joining us. We've been missing you for the last 3 weeks.
I'm sorry.
Straight foolishness. Sometimes the show, you know, that the show needs a bit of just stupidness.
The person is missing you, you know. Make him disrespect, laugh with him, you know. And
rubbish.
I want to.
So listen, thank you for joining us, and also the great Rodney Hines, cool and collected in black today, because obviously what's going to happen over the weekend. And all the way from Florida, Mike Anthony joining us. We'll see you soon, Mike. Probably no carnival for us, but I know you're going to be dipping in and dip out, because that's what you do.
100%. It's been a pleasure, boys.
Will there ever be a carnival, Mike?
Say again?
Will there ever be a carnival again?
If they want to really upset black people, try to take it away from us.
And on that note, I think we can say it's a wrap. Daddy Ernie.
Yo,
I was the rare nephew.
Yeah, man, it's all right. It's finished. I'm gonna have another one.
It reached, you know. You see? All right, people. The rare nephew has reached. We gotta go. It was the fixture list. Thanks for joining us, guys. Peace.
Yeah, man. See you soon. Big up, brother.
Bless.
Yo, Mike Anthony.
No.